as they don't understand the emotion of it. So when you say somebody's died, they just kind of accept that they died. They don't attach the emotion to it because they don't understand they're not going to see them again. They don't feel sadness in the way that we would if we've missed somebody. Somebody's died or we've spent a life with them or whatever, because their lives are still quite new. And also their memories and things are very different to ours at that age. When you're talking about death, children ask about, things have died or why they've died or whatever. You just need to talk to them very matter of fact. Don't romanticise it, just keep it very matter of fact and very to the point, Because I grew up in a medical family, I heard about people dying quite often, because older patients in the family and the practice had died or, things like that. And so I grew up with a healthy attitude to it, knowing that everybody dies. I think it's important that children do know that everybody dies, that nobody lives forever. And like pets and things like that, they don't live as long as we do. So when you're talking about it very, like we just said, matter of fact, and to the point, just about everything. So even like plants die, don't they? We cut them down, they've died. It's like a flower in a vase dies because we've cut it off, so it's not alive anymore. And as they get older, they'll ask more questions, why you die and things like that. Yeah. A lot of people are frightened of talking about death. There are a lot of superstitions associated with death and talking about it and things like that. So often they won't talk about it to their children. Michael seemed very keen on the whole thing. Gillian was very apprehensive, very shy, very quiet about it all, not really knowing what to expect. She surprised me because she's talked to me a lot. She's asked me lots of questions. She's very interested why people do what they do and why children behave like they do. I think she's learnt a lot about different aspects of childcare and how to be a better parent, really. Michael's the same, really, but because he's already in a caring profession, he gets part of the caring side of it. The experience with Lily as well, I think that's really helped them understand quite a lot. Although I think they find it quite hard, but I said to Gillian yesterday that it wasn't their child, and it's very difficult to look after someone else's child, particularly even if you've got no idea at all about looking after children. I mean, even myself, I find, when I go into a new job, taking on new children, it takes a little while to get to know them. You don't just click in and it works straight away. But I said, when she has a baby, she'll start with a newborn baby and she'll grow to love the baby and learn how to talk to the baby. So by the time it's 3, she'll already have a great relationship, great attachment to her child. So it won't be like a strange child coming in. I think because what she's frightened of is, I think, because she had Lily coming in, and Lily was 3, and Lily was already kind of indoctrinated by her own family's ideas and everything else. I think Gillian found that quite hard to deal with. But I said to Gillian that, she'll have her baby. Her baby will grow up with her and Michael's aspirations, what they want her to do, with her, how they want life to be. So their own child will be quite different to someone else's. And I think she sort of understands that. I think they're very much like they were. They both work together very, very well, I think. They both, they're newly married too, so they're very close. But I think they both, are quite keen to have a child. But they still, it's still a bit nervous. It's still a bit of a big adventure for them. Right at the beginning, he was really into it and he wanted to do as much as he could, whereas Gillian was quite shy and a bit reticent. She wasn't, that keen. But I think even though it still worries her about having a child and everything that goes with it, now she's a much stronger person and she knows more about it. I think with Johnny and Jan at the beginning, what worried them was how they kind of battled against each other. But they do have quite a few more stresses than the other families because they've got 2 children to care for. And also, with Jojo too, with his problems he has. But I think they realised that actually, we talked about this, that it's no good battling with each other. They've got to work together. And rather than shouting at each other, I suggested to them to take a step back and think about what they need to do rather than get annoyed at each other. And I think they've taken that on board a bit, about how they deal with the children now, that step back, talk about it, and then move forward. And I said to them, instead of getting cross straight away, this is you losing control when the child's doing something wrong, is actually to take a step backwards and think, what should I do here? What